Once a very long time ago, we used to sit down with our ink and parchment and pen a timeless soliloquy for our dearly beloved. We'd labor over every last letter in our best calligraphy, mark it with our wax seal, and send it off through the post for our better half to pine over its every word. Then along came the internet and reshaped our entire world, an ability to communicate and connect. Now we're taught we can say anything and everything, just as long as we can muster the courage to publish our insane thoughts for all to see for all eternity. It ruined our communication in many aspects of culture. Hollywood fell victim to a very similar fate in the advent of streaming services. Once, many moons ago, we had to plan out our week with a TV guide and or preview channel. The shows that emerged during the golden years of television respected your time. They didn't mince words. They didn't waste a moment on details that didn't push the story forward. Of course, there are always exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, we had convincing stories by people who actually gave a shit about the stories they told. Ah, dear Shagsworth, what do writing letters in Hollywood have in common? Well, strap in, folks, because we're going deep. Hollywood has had a quality problem for some time now, and it's become increasingly evident every time the same derivative MCU and Star Wars nonsense drops. But it's not just these shows. Countless Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and other streaming services release several shows each year in hopes of captivating an audience. Much like the letters of yesteryear, TV shows didn't have the luxury of releasing all at once or across multiple platforms. In order for shows to exist, they needed to captivate an audience week by week without revealing too much or allowing the plot to go stale. Enter streaming services. Netflix kicked in the doors of the entertainment business, to be sure. It put Blockbuster Video, a movie rental giant, out of business in a few short years and cornered the market for on-demand entertainment. But an unintended side effect could be seen. With content available at our beck and call, we needed to make more of it to satisfy our feeble minds, and like the evolution of communication, the words on the page meant less and less. It's been said that as we connected more and more, we stopped thinking of the words we'd say to others because it didn't matter anymore. We could say anything we wanted, and if we made a mistake, we could quickly correct it. At one point, we needed to make sure every word was correct because once it left our possession, whatever mistakes were present were there for the other person to read. Streaming services were the slow decay of Hollywood. People became content junkies, and because of it, we chased the dragon. New services promising series, reboots, or new ones altogether. Most of which were the rotting, reanimated corpse of a once great IP. Good writing was no longer a prerequisite because if something was off or amiss, we only needed to write the next piece of garbage. They slapped a fancy logo on it of your once great property, and for a time, we defended them. But at some point, we wised up to their game and called them on their bullshit. You see, much like the words our ancestors penned to whom they cared most about, older TV shows wanted to connect with you on a meaningful level. Hollywood had spent too long sexting us in the middle of the night after nailing our ex-girlfriend at the 25th high school reunion. We weren't going to take it anymore. And like the toxic ex that Hollywood is, they blame their critics for all the bad press and low opening weekends. Hollywood needs to sit their ass in the chair and learn to pen a quality love letter again. Enough of the soulless writing you've been feeding us. Connect with your audience. Show them you care about the characters they looked up to for so many years.